B-Knocks.
Welcome back to another episode of B-KnockzTV. Today, I'm going to unpack a historical moment in LA history that a lot of people skip over. The Bangin on Wax family tree. Just so you know, this piece of content comes with a lot of moving parts, uncredited artists, and a gang of secondhand information. So I'm going to try to do it respectfully, and if I missed anything or anyone, leave it in the comments. Now, I'm not here to give you updates on where they are now. I'm only here to highlight an era where the real ones stood up, put their differences aside, and banged on wax. No need to keep you waiting. Let's get it. On March 3rd, 1993, Dangerous Records dropped Bangin on Wax. This was a first of its kind, where real members from different sections like Compton, Watts, Inglewood, South Central, and Long Beach came together to give us the true experience of the gangbang culture outside of the traditional record label artists. This album was so raw, where else can you find Bloods and Crips doing songs together and dissing each other on the same album? The primary artist on this album was Red Rum, Lil Stretch, AWOL, Bloody Mary, Sinloke, Blue Rag, Red Rag, Dog, C-Note, Genuine Draft, Do or Die, CK and BK, no disrespect, those are their names, and C-Rider. If I missed anyone, leave it in the comments. Also, the production was handled by Battle Cat, Jay Stank, Ron, George and Darrell, Cluso, and Jerome Evans. My standouts. Now, here's where it gets tricky. For some songs, I'm gonna do it by number, just to keep it clean. Bangin on Wax, Should Have Been a B-Dog. Number 6, Pyru Love. This song is a classic, straight banger, my favorite track off the album. Number 10, Steady Dippin'. This beat was hard, it's my second favorite track. And number 17. Now, after the release of Bangin on Wax, Genuine Draft, now known as Domino, left the group and dropped his self-titled debut solo album, Domino, on December 7th, 1993. Battle Cat also left and will go on to produce this entire album with the exception of one song. This album would have success as it hit gold status, and it had quite a few hit records on it also. My standouts: Diggity Domino, Ghetto Jam, classic song, straight banger. AFD, Money Is Everything, Sweet Potato Pie, another classic. Long Beach Thing, and That's Real, produced by AMG. He would later go on to drop Physical Funk in 1996, The World of Dominology in 97, and Remember Me in 99. Shout out to Domino. On February 2nd, 1994, the Young Soldiers dropped their self-titled debut album, The Young Soldiers. Now, this group consisted of members Lil Stretch, Big Y, also known as Red Rag, Dog, and Pops. This album was a certified banger and is highly underrated. Production was handled by Dookie Fingers, Jay Stank, Ron, and Leroy Dukes. My standouts: Alligator, If Tomorrow Comes, In the Morning Man, When I Think of Home, Stressin' I Ain't Living Right, Tough Guy, Mama Said There Be Days Like This, Straight Gangsta Mac, and East Side West Side. This song would also be featured on the Death Row soundtrack Murder Was the Case later that year in October. The beat was also changed for the ones that don't know. Bangin on Wax 2, released September 13th, 1994, the second and last Bangin on Wax album ever made. If I remember correctly, this one didn't have the same impact as the first one, but to me, this was the better album. The roster on both sides changed as well. The primary artist on this one was AWOL, Bronco, Batman, Red Rag, B-Brazy, Lil Stretch, Lil Hawk, Six Pack, Laniac, Big Freeze, Dog, Green Eyes, Yank, Pops, Troll, G-Bone, Scarface, Inch, and Ryder J. If I missed anyone, leave it in the comments. Production was handled by Dookie Fingers, Eastside Tag Team, Ron, Big Y, Tweety Bird Loke, Leroy Dukes, George and Darrell, and Lil Stretch. My standouts, G's and Lokes, Gangsta-ish. Number 4, Mafia Lane, Can't Stop, Won't Stop, Time Is Gone, Set Trippin', Eastside Rip Rider. Number 15, my favorite track off the album. This song was a straight banger, and Wish You Were Here. On September 26, 1995, the Damu Riders dropped their self-titled debut album, Damu Riders. No longer a Blood and Crip collaboration album like Bangin' on Wax, this album highlighted B-Brazy, Lil Hawk, Peanut Deuce, Spider, Pimp D, and OG Mad Eye. Production was handled by Tweety Bird Loco, Ron, Leroy Dukes, and Dookie Fingers. My standouts, Damu Ride, classic song. B-Brazy got off on this one, a gang of quotables. Why Must I Be Like That? YGBs are the braziest. B's can't ride for free. Do you want to roll to Figueroa? Ends can't F with this. We don't give a F. And number 13, this was a banger. A day later, on September 26, 1995, the Nationwide Rip Riders dropped their self-titled debut album, The Nationwide Rip Riders. There was definitely a competition thing going on with the release dates being a day apart. That's crazy. Now at this point, the only original member from Bangin' on Wax 1 on this album is AWOL. Aside from him, we have Bronco, Big Freeze, Twin Loke, G-Bone, Six Pack, Keystone, Scarface, and Kool-Aid. Production was handled by Tweety Bird Loke, Ron, Leroy Dukes, and Dookie Fingers. My standouts, Throw the Seeds in the Air, Nationwide Rip Riders, What We Believe In, Number 7, Ends Don't Want No Problems, Compton Nut, and Sets in the Daytime, Chronic at Night. Also in 95, G-Len dropped his solo debut album, Whoop Whoop. This had cuts like G-Funk, Pass the Blunt featuring B-Brazy and Mr. Dulo, Whoopin', Fallen Hero, and Whoop Whoop featuring B-Brazy, June Dog, and Mr. Dulo. Now, B-Brazy dropped a project called The Braziac. This was an unofficial release to my knowledge, and everything points to this dropping in 1998. If the year is wrong, leave it in the comments. This had cuts like It Don't Matter, featuring G-Len, June Dog, Fig Mont, Papa Smurf, and Mo. Smile Now, Cry Later, featuring June Dog and Papa Smurf. The World We Live In, featuring Papa Smurf. Don't Trip, this was a banger. The Drought Is Over, and Westside YGs. On November 10th, 1999, the Damu Riders dropped their second album, How Deep Is Your Hood? Now this was full of heat rocks, and at this time B-Brazy was on fire. This one might be their classic in my opinion. The primary artists on this one was B-Brazy, G-Len, Big Y, Red Rum, Lil Hawk, Green Eyes, Dog, Lil Leak, Doc B, and Bad Luck, who wasn't credited. Production was handled by Dookie Fingers, Tweety Bird Loke, Leroy Dukes, and Ron. My standouts, Young Active Brazy, Feeling Your Man, Young Dogs with No Muzzle, A Day in the Life, How Deep Is Your Hood, Y'all Ends Know My Name, Get Your Money, Ends and B's, and Give It Up, my favorite track on the album. G-Len got off on that one. Certified banger. That same year, the nationwide Rip Riders dropped their second album, Betrayed, Can't Trust Nobody. Now here we have Big Freeze, Twin Loc, G-Bone, Mac 11, Dove Mac, and Keystone. Production was once again handled by Tweety Bird Loc and Ron Ron. Now, respectfully, this one wasn't as good to me. My standouts: Ends Don't Bang Like They Used to, Betrayed, Seas in the Air, and Number 12. In 2000, Big Y and Dog, now known as Sugar Booger, would go on to form the group, The Relatives, and drop their debut album, Dirty Money. This album was a certified knocker. Production was handled by VMF and Trey Boogie. This had cuts like Strictly for the Gang Bang, Streets Won't Let Me Chill, Mafia, Throw It Up featuring Dub C and CJ Mack, Partying featuring B-Brazy, Chubby, and VMF, Ballin' featuring B Legit and Richie Rich, Dirty Money, Keep It Gangsta, and B's F for Free. In 2000, they dropped The Takeover. This also has some certified heat rocks on it. At this time, they was really making noise, and this is also the album where they would start taking shots at Mac 10. This had cuts like Just Like That, featuring B-Brazy, who got off on that song. This was a knocker. Played Like a Piano, featuring King T, another knocker. Gangsta, featuring The Realest. Maria, produced by Timbaland. The Life, featuring Dub C. Burnt With It, my favorite track on the album. And Be a Hoe, featuring B-Brazy and Marlon. Later in 2005, they dropped Money Respect Money. This had cuts like Me Shell, my favorite track off the album. They Don't Know, featuring Cocaine, my second favorite. Pimpin', featuring Too Short. And Like We Do. Shout out to The Relatives. Now let's fast forward. G-Len is still very active, dropping music to this day, and still has a strong presence. As a matter of fact, he just dropped an album last year called Still Whoopin'. Go check it out. June Dog and Bronco once again bought the red and blue together a couple of years ago and dropped the single, Same Team, which I thought was pretty dope. Now correct me if I'm wrong, and I mean this with no disrespect. Would Bronco be the last member from the nationwide Rip Riders that's still making music? Leave it in the comments. Lastly, we have Fig Newton, who in my opinion will be the last direct descendant out the Damu Riders family tree that's running with the torch. This dude is actively dropping projects, and he definitely has the same flair and energy that we got from those old tapes that I covered earlier. Once again, if I forgot anyone or any albums, leave it in the comments. At this time, I would like to say rest in peace to every single individual that passed away who contributed to the making of this history. Gone but never forgotten. And that wraps things up for this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Also, hit the notifications so you can get this content as soon as it drops. Till next time.